Right. So I'm pretty. I think I'm pretty much set with what I want to do early. I'm kind of I'm a little nervous about the Lakers. If you want to know the truth.
I'm a little nervous about the Lakers as well.
Do you did Kyrie Irving tell anybody why he was not playing?
No, he said personal.
No, I know that, but
I didn't hear anything.
And once again, I just worry about like some like mass exodus or something like that. You know, I'm not
Well,
sure.
Then we got what's his name who had COVID right after Tyler Johnson, which sort of like not getting talked about. Like I don't know why people aren't talking about that. That's
Michael Porter Jr. was supposed to be in, but he's out again, and Seth Curry is out. So I'm actually. So let's talk about the Philly Brooklyn game because that's probably what you have to talk about, right? So on the Brooklyn side, I mean, I'm going to play. You know, you weren't here for Bruce Brown night the other day, so he was fine. You know, like he actually had a really really good first half, and they didn't play him all that much in the second half only because they blew him out. But he was good enough, and he had Irving with him too. So I think him at full point guard run until the game is over, which could be quick.
Bruce Brown won't be the point guard. Karis LeVert's the point guard.
Yeah, but okay, but Bruce Brown will get like I think Bruce Brown's a really really strong play. I think that LeVert is kind of a lock. On the other side, I like all of it. I like Tyrese Maxey. I like Shake Milton. I like Danny Green. I like all of it. So that's where I'm going to lose. Probably is on the fishy Philly value. And don't forget also this stupid Jalen Brunson still looks like a good value also. So I was hoping that you could give me a little more insight on what to do with the first game.
Okay, so I think that it's a very stackable game. It's unfortunate it's the first game. I think that you can play 5 guys from Brooklyn and hope that it goes your way. I think the ideal thing is 3 or 4 if you're going to do that stack. Just because I think you really are missing a lot of ball handling outside of LeVert. I know Bruce Brown a little bit, but like honestly, I think the assists he had the other day are a little bit of an aberration. I don't think that he's like. We've got to see the starting lineup before I'm going to say that he's a better play than what's his name, Taurean Prince. And Taurean Prince is the guy I would sort of be leaning to. He sort of played 2 guard most of his time in Atlanta anyway. He can actually score and create and do things, which I know Bruce Brown had 5 assists. Again, I'm just going to say that's probably his career high. I don't think he's a very good offensive player at all. And I think that Taurean Prince is the better upside play. And then I would play some TLC as well. I'm not as interested in the Philly side of it. I like Shake Milton. I like Tyron. I'm not as some of the value as you are. Like I don't like Danny Green as much as everybody else does on the back-to-back. I think Tyrese Maxey, and Shake Milton are more interesting plays to me. The long shot play, and I don't think it's going to end up going that way exactly, but it wouldn't shock me if you saw Thibault play a bunch more minutes tonight to guard LeVert. I don't see Danny Green being able to stay in front of him. He's not the same defender that he used to be at all, not even close. So that's sort of where I'm at right now. I think LeVert is like a virtual lock. I don't really know entirely what we're doing if we're not playing him.
So I'll by the way, Believer 82 gets most favored nation status. If he ever wants a question, he's going to get an answer. So that's Jeremiah, by the way. So I actually do think Chiozza is going to get in the game.
I had Chiozza in one of my big buy-ins. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm willing to take shots on all these guys. I understand that there's bodies, but there's a lot of ways this could break, and somebody playing well they're probably going to get the run. So if Chiozza is going well, I have Landry Shamet a lot. That feels as speculative as that feels, with Tyler Johnson out and Kyrie out, and him going back to Philly. I think that there's a chance, like we're not going back to like playing Philly or whatever. I think there's a chance he gets some run here. I think Shamet might be the upside play. And it wouldn't shock me if he ended up starting or something, or even being first off the bench. And I don't know why Joe Harris is supposed to not start here. It's weird. I think it was a matchup thing. I want to wait to see what we have with the starting lineup, honestly, until I make my final decision, which kind of sucks because I'm not giving the people the great information, but it would be unfair to. Like, I mean, we really need to know who's starting. Even Jeff Green has more playability than I would normally play, just because I think that he's a guy who can at least do things offensively.
I agree with that. The problem is that not the problem. Again, I played a decent amount of him starting the other day, and he was very annoyingly underwhelming. But that's one game, obviously. But I agree. By the way, up at the top, John. The only thing that's preventing all these guys from being, especially LeVert, from being like a stone lock is this game really could be over fast. It's something to think about with the 75% owned guy. I mean, I think it is. I'm playing. Look, I'm going to have just the oodles of him on DraftKings. I'm only going to probably, just for the hell of it, I'm probably going to only play 33% of him on FanDuel just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if he doesn't have to smash. I mean, he kind of does, but he doesn't. but in like $3, when on a 5-game slate, one blowout, one twist ankle, whatever, and I'd be happy to only have 30%. Yeah.
Quick message out to my friends, real quick. Stop. I had a message for my friends. Anybody who's watching, stop texting me. Don't text me. I got 50 messages asking me what to do about tonight's game. I'm on air. I do this every day. I post my things. I write what I'm thinking. I talk about it. I don't understand why I have to get text messages with everybody asking me the same question. So I'll just tell them, whoever, if you're out there, ask it here. We'll talk about it here. Sorry about
that. And we got to get used to what we got to get used to and people have to know not to go into Discord like right now. You know what I mean? Like during this time, like I'm really not paying attention to our Discord channel.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not that good anymore. I can't pay attention to like 7 different mediums. I really will just know to kind of come here. Let's get back. We'll get back to the games in a second.
I don't want to talk about this first game. I don't agree about this being. Look, there's definitely blowout potential. I don't see it as being just this guaranteed lock for a blowout by any means whatsoever.
No, it's not a lock for it. But
Brooklyn has been better in these spots than they have been regularly. Not just this season in the limited sample, but going back last year, going back the year before, they are deep. They play well. LeVert, I mean, last time this happened without Kyrie and KD, they won by like 25, and it was against a good team. This is Philly on a back-to-back with guys who like Joel Embiid has only played like 4 back-to-backs in his entire career. Like I mean,
yeah, fair enough. But point counterpoint, right? The everything you said is correct, and it doesn't have to be a blowout. But at heavy ownership, I think
sure. Absolutely, but it's similar. It would be like trying to predict a blowout to me in the Dallas Denver game. Like this is not a game. This game has a 4-point spread. You know what I mean? 4.5. We're not talking about a huge favorite. Vegas agrees with me even. Like, you know what I mean? The spread jumped by only a few points because Brooklyn is good in these spots.
Right.
It's just it could easily be a blowout. It could end up turning into a blowout. But I'm not predicting it that way. If there's games that I'm worried about blowing out, it would be more Portland, Minnesota, and maybe somewhat the Lakers over San Antonio, but I don't even feel that way as strongly. It's more the Portland, Minnesota game that I would be concerned about.
Do we have confirmation? I mean, it's just asked. Do we have confirmation? We don't have confirmation or anything, but Sexton is even playing?
Yeah, they said they expect him to play.
Okay.
So I have to get some Sexton in my lineup. He's originally was one of my top plays. I switched everything, started playing Osman all over the place because I thought it was leaning out. And then the thing is, I actually wanted to talk about it when it was speculative because like he's a tough guy, man. That guy is going to play through anything. So I'm sort of happy that he's playing, but I need to find a way to get him into some of my lineups. This is where I'm at.
I have another guy who you mentioned for just a couple of seconds in the early thing, which kind of showing up a little bit, and I wanted your authority to play him. You basically said like not yet, but soon. Is it too soon to play Melton?
It's the question is what kind of value are we looking for? Are we looking just to pivot off the Brooklyn value? And if so, do we want to do that with value or do we want to do that with middling builds?
That's a good question, right?
I would lean middling builds would be the way to go. Okay. But these guys do have some upside. The only problem also with the middling build is the potential of the Laker guys being out, because that makes you want to have one of LeBron or AD. So what you do is you play LeBron, you know, that way you have the 200 or, you know, left or whatever. And you can always switch it to AD, but you make sure it's in your forward spot, not in your small forward spot. I know it sounds obvious, but sometimes people forget that, and I've done it myself, and I do this for a living. So that's one thing you want to do. All right. So I have 97% Levert on huge volume on DraftKings.
Okay.
That's where I'm at, and I honestly probably will get it down to 90. And I'm going to have about 90 on FanDuel as well, which sort of means I'm planting my flag on that game staying fairly close.
Wait, what percent? What percent did you say?
About 90.
You have my screen up? I have so far 96%.
No, I don't. That's hilarious. That's funny.
So all my yapping about that fading, whatever. I'm just telling you that on DraftKings I have 96%. The only problem is I also have 92% of Tyrese Maxey. So we'll see how
happens there. Yeah.
See how that goes. What could be wrong? So talk to me for just a second, and then we'll go. I want to go on to a couple of other games. Talk me not off of, but I understand that Danny Green off the back-to-back might be a little fishy, but he I don't know. He was picking up extra minutes, and he was like actually doing better leading up to that last game. I don't know. Maybe it's not the greatest plan.
If we're talking about fading chalk, I would just much rather play the real upside chalk, which is Taurean Prince, which are those guys. And I know Danny Green has been very good for his price. He's been shooting the ball what is he shooting? 60% from 3-point range over his last 3 games. So basically, in all the games, other than the one game against New York early in the season where he had 6 stocks, 4 steals and 2 blocks, 4 blocks, 2 steals, he's hitting a ton of threes to get him there. He's had some assists, which gives you a little bit of upside. But look at the matchup yesterday against Washington.
Right.
Blistering pace. Right. It just doesn't feel right. I've seen this story with Danny Green before, and I've watched Danny Green as a Laker fan. I mean, I watched him play 35 minutes before and get 3 fantasy points. It's not a joke. It's really on the table for him to do that. Maybe you could argue he's a little more involved in Philly, but they've got 3 other guys who are going to demand the balls or command the ball. And then they've got, honestly, the funny part about this happening is it kind of takes away from Ben Simmons a little bit. I love Ben Simmons, but Seth Curry being there helps Ben Simmons, whereas you get the other guards, both Maxey and why am I blanking? Maxey and Milton, and both these guys are more creators. So it actually makes me just sort of interested in them. And Milton has looked really good, really active. I don't know if anybody's going to want to go to I don't think as many people are going to go to the 49 as they probably should.
He's good, Milton.
He's good. He can play. And by the way, so can Maxey. I'm not. It's his feels a little bit weirder to me, but it feels like more speculative. But I like him. I mean, I do like him. I think what I got to do is get less Ben Simmons.
I'll tell you, and this is you guys want to know how to make money? All right, this is how you make money. You surround yourself with smart people, and then you act on it. So I'm telling just telling exactly what I'm doing. So I came into this chat with 75% Danny Green and 4% Taurean Prince. There's going to be like a significant shift of that.
Now I feel the pressure's on. I hope it works out in my favor. I mean, I'm not Xing Danny Green out, but I'm definitely preferring these other guys. That's just where I'm at.
Yep.
I feel bad, man. I don't want to steer anybody down. This is just my path. But that's what my job is. I guess I'm supposed to say it. But anyway,
and that's the thing. Like, and this is one thing Bob used to do. And if you finally got used to not doing it after a while, there would be times where he would, give me who he liked, and I played somebody, and I'm like, oh man, I wish that what's his name would have done better. He said, oh, sorry. I'm like, sorry, you don't have to. It's not up to you to freaking apologize. I mean, it's you take the advice, and it's not just your advice. I take it to hear from everybody, and I make my own freaking decision. You don't have to apologize for the terrible performance that Taurean Prince is going to have. I mean, you don't have to do that. And it's up to you, and it's up to everybody to filter out and figure out what's going on. And I tell people this all the time. This is the way I've made really all my money lifetime is really just figuring out who to listen to when I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, honestly, that's a very, very difficult thing to learn over a long period of time.
Obviously.
So yeah. So as we go through this is you're going to see me just kind of like filtering through this. So let's talk about some of the other games then. What do you think? So Dallas, Denver. That's a pretty big deal, by the way, that Porter's not playing.
Yep.
I've been playing Will Barton, and I can't, with the exception of the fact there might be better options, right? I think you go right back to him, just in general. And the other guy you could play, who's really cheap on FanDuel, is Paul Millsap. I mean, he's like 4,300 or something like that. So if you want to play Luka, for example, and you want to kind of screw around, I mean, we talked about Jamal Murray being a good player, or whatever. And so obviously you play Jokic, but if you want to screw around, you can play like Will Barton and or Paul Millsap.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that Jamal Murray is the real beneficiary here, and I already like Jamal Murray in today's game anyway. I think he likes to go toe to toe with these guys, even if he's not like guarding him, which he won't. But he wants to like play against the best guys. That's when he tries to show out like a little bit, and it's usually the weirder matchups. So I just think Jamal Murray is getting completely overlooked, and I would have thought with that news, I think he would have gotten more looks, but just people locked into LeVert. But you can still play both these guys. And not the same price exactly, but they're in a price-ish range. I'm just going to say Jamal Murray has a monstrous ceiling. I'm playing a lot of Luka, so I'm going to play a lot of Jamal. I'm going to try and get some Murray-Luka lineups in there together.
You know what I did? This is like really just brutal to try to get, but I even played on FanDuel. I played like a few Luka Jokic lineups. And that's like a lot of salary to put together.
Yeah.
But I was able to do it. And that was even before like this newer value opened up. So you could do that if you want, but I kind of like your game flow of that Jamal Murray thing. You know what I mean? Just the Jamal Murray just wanting to show out because he does it sometimes.
Yeah, and that's enough. We don't need him to do it that much, especially if he's going to be like 5% owned, which is right about where he's projected right now. You know? I keep ending up in a really weird spot. I'm just going to talk about on FanDuel, where for some reason I have exactly like 6,500 left every time in the small forward spot.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's not where you want to. It's not that Keldon Johnson is the worst thing in the world, but it's just not what I want to do. So I'm trying to avoid that. I also want to say, like, Memphis hasn't played that many close games without Ja, and I expect this one to be close. So I think everybody on Memphis that's a really the sad part is the best stackable games are the first two games in my opinion. If obviously a Lakers out, you can make it.
I don't know about that. I like that Portland game. No,
if you want to predict blowouts, that's the game that I would think has got some serious blowout risk. But yeah. No, you're 100%. You could argue that. I don't know that anybody other than maybe Nurkic from a value point on DraftKings stands out as a good play from Portland, but they're all good plays because it's a ceiling environment, so it is a good stackable.
Yeah, I mean, you could play Lillard, Nurkic, and even Covington if you want, and I don't, you don't want to play D'Angelo Russell, but I mean, crap, then you could play any of those Culvers or any of these other stupid twins that I like to say. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Before this new value came out, I redid everything. I was really focusing on trying to stack that game, sort of. So I got to think about this.
Yeah. I also think that Drummond was going to get people don't realize it about Drummond, but he's a center that can create. He actually he's a good offensive. He's an underrated offensive player for what people think he is. I think he would have had a lot more responsibilities if Sexton was out tonight. But I still think he's a great play. I just think that it would have been that would have been the guy I'm trying to get in extra pieces of. It's pretty funny. I just checked at the Discord on the side of my screen, and it said, Eric, I will go into Discord anytime I want. Somebody wrote that in Discord it must have been right after you said it.
Covington revenge game. Who do they play? I don't even know.
Portland. No, the Minnesota.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, yeah, don't forget the revenge factor. That's not a thing here in that particular game, in that situation. And Covington's not that kind of a guy exactly anyway. He's a tough guy who always plays hard, so you're not really getting much of a boost with him. He's got what we call the Westbrook in the postseason problem. He doesn't have another gear because Westbrook uses all of his gears in the regular season, so he doesn't have an extra gear to go to.
Oh.
It's true. So I think LeBron, the problem is if you get it wrong and one of these guys is out, boy, oh boy, are you in trouble.
Well, if you get it wrong and one of them is out, then you just switch to the other one. No,
Not on FanDuel, you can't do that. Not if you want to play the earlier games.
not if you want to play the earlier games.
And I want that stack of Cleveland and Memphis. I want the stack of Brooklyn and Philly, at least at some point with the stack. What I'm mostly running is one Philly back, and usually I'm finding Tobias Harris on DraftKings to be my guy.
I don't have him. I only have 88% Anthony Davis, so it's not like.
I mean, I think that from what I'm hearing, and I don't trust either, but I'm thinking, I always think it would be more likely. I think it's going to be more likely Davis to sit. So just be a little bit careful.
Yeah, well,
mind, I think.
What's that?
I said I'll keep that one in mind. Just it could go that way, that route.
Well, let me just see who I have that I could. Well, we're going to see what happens. We're going to have to see. So who do I get to play at power forward then if when he gets ruled out?
Wow, you really don't have a lot of options, do you? I mean, you have to make a double move, have a double move ready to go.
That's fine. I mean, I'd have someone have to play Covington or something like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I just want to say that I still think Cedi Osman's a good play, and maybe because of all this, he gets overlooked. And I don't usually like Joe Harris when these guys are gone, but I think there's enough extra shots to go around, and I think like we've seen what guards can do against, active shooting guards can do against Philly. Joe Harris is still a solid play. Like, I hope you don't forget about him. I hope people don't forget about him entirely.
How much Luka do you have, like, everywhere? I mean,
45% on DraftKings. FanDuel about 60.
Yeah, I got 50 on.
I think I'm gonna go a little lower on FanDuel, but that's where I currently am.
I have 50 on 50. I have 60 and 50 pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else at power. Trying to get this Memphis. It's really hard to every time. It's really trying to get this Memphis stack in.
Do we have starters in the Philly game?
No.
Lovely.
I mean, we should in the next 7 minutes, I would guess. So we'll figure that out together.
Okay. I do like DeJounte Murray, Jamie. I do. Oh, Jim says I agree that AD sitting out. Why would these guys sit out?
Well, I mean, why would they play? Is my real question. I'm a Laker fan. I don't know.
They're freaking basketball players. I don't know. Why would they sit out?
Because their game. The name of the game this season, especially without fans at home, like you just get through the season. You make the playoffs, and that's it.
Have any of them sat yet?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
AD and LeBron have sat.
Yeah, I think they each sat. Maybe I'm not 100. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's not even a back-to-back, right? I mean,
they have 3 and 4 days coming up, though.
Yeah. You like DeRozan?
A little bit. I've got some of him, but I prefer like the Sexton guys. Yeah, that's where I'm at, I guess. Sexton, and if I'm gonna play that, if I'm gonna play like Lillard, I do want to throw some D'Angelo Russells in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Keeping me away from it a little bit.
What do you think? What do you think of Jalen Brunson? I've alluded to him a couple of times.
I don't have a whole lot of interest personally.
Yeah.
I don't really see how he gets anything out of he can't it's only the minutes. So what you're hoping for then is like Luka gets in foul trouble or something, because it's not.
I don't think so. Can't you just play backup point guard minutes? No.
Which is what, 12 minutes?
No, I mean. I don't know. I mean, I think I'll get 20 minutes. No, you don't think he can sneak in?
But it's the quality of the minutes. Like, he's not going to do anything while Luka's out there.
Right.
He's not a shooter.
Right.
So benefit Luka.
Yeah.
So having him out there doesn't even work as well. You know what I mean? It's sort of the same thing with the Maxey thing versus Seth Curry, where it hurts Simmons actually.
Yeah, the other thing I'm doing now, just so you guys know, is if you're trying to figure out what I'm doing, I'm kind of filtering through. I have like 90%, for example, Maxey on DraftKings. So I'm filtering through that and just pivoting in kind of various lineups, like getting a little Chioza, getting a little Melton if I can afford it, the extra 100, basically reducing my risk on the Maxey.
Yeah. I'm going to answer a couple questions in chat. So guys, get some QQs in. I see some already, but I have to catch up a little bit. Yes, join the Discord room. Just it's True DFS. I can't get the link together right now because I'm in the middle of doing this. Do I see Dwight getting any extra run? He could. Not going to make a difference for me, Jamie, personally. But I sort of get where he's coming from. But I mean, look, we have to. If we get confirmation that Embiid's out, obviously, I would have some interest. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Do I like the under for the total for the Nets game? I kind of do like the under in the Nets game a little bit, but I don't think it's like a stone cold lock bet. Brooklyn's still, these teams can still play pretty quick. LeBron posted a pic at the arena. I think he plays. That's good to know. That's a good sign. Guys like McCollum on FanDuel, same price as Dame.
Yeah, I think it'd be an interesting contrarian play, man. It's play CJ McCollum over there.
Yeah, I'm not getting to it, but I totally get the idea behind it. Rubio for cheap. I think he's worth a tournament shot for sure. Like he's like going to be completely overlooked here, and like Rubio could play and put up 40 fantasy points. It's possible. It's really on the table. It's not out of the realm of possibility, I should say. So I think I want to do a little bit of Lillard running back with Rubio situation in a few of my lineups. A couple other quick questions. Let's see. Chiozza love. Yeah, I did say I have some Chiozza, but I'm not overwhelmingly excited, but I'm rotating some of these Nets guys. My highest owned Nets is obviously Karis LeVert, followed by Taurean Prince right now. Are Jokic and Jamal Murray okay in the same lineup, or should I move off Murray to someone like Tobias? Yeah, I think you should. I don't think you want to try to play Tobias with Jokic and Murray together in general. They can both go off at times, but at their current prices, you're kind of hoping that one of them takes over. And usually when Murray takes off, Jokic is more in the 55, 60 range instead of the 70 possible range, or 50, maybe 45, 55, whatever. But I would prefer to go out. I would prefer to try and go elsewhere, especially if you have that lineup already, you should have Luka in that lineup, in my opinion. No good on the PGA lineup from James DeVilio. Any thoughts on Chiozza? I can see him being overlooked at 10x. Yeah, no, look, yeah, I'm into Chiozza. I'm into some of it. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I do have some Chiozza.
How much do you think you're going to have of it?
I think right now I'm around 20%.
It's a lot.
No, I'm sorry. 17%. But still, that's
17% on lineups, but probably bigger on
anything.
But probably bigger on money, right?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Well, just probably right about 20 on money. Yeah. The only issue is that I want to see the starting lineup first of all. It's not going to really affect Chiozza. He's not going to be in the starting lineup. But if Bruce Brown is out of the starting lineup, I think it helps Chiozza. That sounds weird. Like I said, I don't see Bruce Brown as a creator. He's never been in his career. So
no, really.
Yeah. So I lean a little bit towards the. I'm open to Chiozza, but I do see it as a long shot play that I'm willing to take some chances on this game because I do think that someone can play themselves into a good amount of minutes here. And that's where I'm at pretty much. Let's see, anything else that I'm actually surprised there aren't more questions other than the Chiozza thing because I'm struggling with a lot of decisions right now. So I can only imagine like other people must be as well. Unless maybe everyone else has got it figured out. Other value that might get overlooked because of things I wanted to touch on. Gorgui Dieng has been trending in the right direction, although I actually like Joe Val tonight. I think that you could make an argument that DeAndre Jordan matches up because Jared Allen's a great help side defender, but DeAndre Jordan is not a great post defender or anything anymore at all. But he might actually match up better. And because of Jared Allen's foul problems in the past, you could say that DeAndre Jordan is an interesting tournament dart. I actually think he makes some sense. And by the way, these Brooklyn guys can get there without, they don't need the game to stay for like incredibly close. You know what I mean? We even look last night. Philly was up by 20 whatever points, and then the game was tied in the fourth quarter. Like if it's not 30 points, you're gonna have a chance to at least see some of your guys out there in the fourth quarter. It's not like you're gonna pull LeVert. Even LeVert was when they were down 20-1, and when they were down up 30 with like a minute and a half to go, he was in the game. So I've seen that happen both ways. I have a little too much of Drummond and Valanciunas on DraftKings. I love this combination, and it's freaking me out, Sheets.
Wait, how much Drummond do you have?
Well, I have 34% Drummond and 34% Valanciunas, but I'm playing them together primarily.
Oh, okay.
I think it's interesting, right? Like, first of all, I think you're definitely going to get different with it. They both have extreme upsides in this spot. I like it actually. I'm not gonna worry too much about it, but I have a lot of it, and I'm sort of splitting those guys with Nurkic on FanDuel.
You playing any? No, you're not playing any of this. I was gonna ask if you're playing any Cantor.
Nah, it's a reach tonight, I think. But I mean, look, he's been. If he was cheaper, I would. Simple as that. So let's see.
Oh, wait, here it is. Nets will start LeVert, Brown, Prince, Green, and Jared Allen. Okay, thank you, believer.
Thank you. So that's the lineup that we had it projected. I was sort of hoping I still like Shamet here. I'm crazy, aren't I? I really think that he's the best case to shoot himself into the game. Like, I mean, he's the best shooter on the team outside of Joe Harris. That's the problem is Joe Harris. How do they bring these guys in? Oof.
You know what I'm going to do, by the way? I'm going to get some.
I'm starting to like Chio's a little better, by the way.
I'm going to swap some Jeff Green in for some Danny Green, where I can do that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I actually don't love Jeff Green. I just think that he's
I mean, whatever. Just a guy. He was really good for a little bit in the bubble, right?
Which one?
Yeah.
Who?
Jeff Green was really good for.
Oh yeah, he was. He was really good in the bubble. He's the weirdest basketball player of all time. He drives me crazy. He drives me nuts. So I want to play Chiozza with these guys like this. No, I don't. Here's what I want to do.
That's the other thing I'm going to do. So I'm probably going to. So I got to make sure to get some Chiozza in for Maxey, just for diversifications purposes. And I'm not making any rules with respect to how many Brooklyns. I think you play as many as you want.
I agree.
Yep. I don't need that. So we can go. This one could be interesting. If I went. Were you playing Kleber?
I like him. It's harder for me to get to him as much if I'm going to be as in love with the Brooklyn guys as I am, and that's sort of where I'm sort of stuck right now, I guess.
Who do you like head to head, TLC or Maxi Kleber?
Kleber. I mean, look, it always feels weird to answer those questions. I'm digging this lineup. Billy Stack with Luka and Jokic. Ooh, that's a beauty.
Let's go. All it's got to do is come in, right?
All you got to do is get it right. Yeah, you got to get the right Brooklyn guys too. That's what I keep.
So I'm good. So I'm up to 23% Prince, which I like. I'm up to 19% TLC, which I had 0 before this thing started. So I got Prince. I probably have a little too much Brown. I'm up to 12% Chiozza, so I'm going to get a little more Chiozza. What I think I'm going to do with the Chiozza is maybe
if you're going to fade in any lineup, if you're going to fade, what's his name? That would be the lineup. Like, I don't want to fade LeVert anyway, but that would be the lineup, I think, where I did fade.
I'm trying to think of how little or how much Brunson I want. But you're not into Brunson.
I personally am not. I don't find the need to do it personally, but I don't want to say it's an impossible play or anything like that.
Are you going to have anything?
I don't have him in anything right now.
Fair enough. So
I'm surprised that he's still viable to most people, I guess.
I know. I'm not exactly sure. I really hope that both these Laker guys play. I just don't need the I don't need the aggravation.
Yeah, I hear you.
What else we got here? Another day of fire, dude. I don't want to hear it. The fire alarms.
Oh, it's over. They're done with the testing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's finally dyno. That's what I said too. Exactly what I said. I am using Gorgui Dieng as a little bit of a pivot off of if it doesn't work out well for Valanciunas, he can always get in foul trouble too. Another one of those guys. And I'm playing so much Valanciunas that I think that I want a little bit of Dieng, who's been playing really, really well when he's given a chance, and actually matches up probably pretty decently at least with Drummond.
Who do you have? Who you playing at small forward on FanDuel?
So let's take a look. Osman, Harris.
You playing Osman over Kyle Anderson?
Anderson. That's another one. I like both of them. I think you can double play those guys. I think they're both good plays.
What about
I ended up with a ton of Lillard. I didn't expect that on FanDuel. But I mean, I knew he was a good play, but I didn't expect to play as much of him as I'm playing. I'm really, really going for it.
playing any Jarrett Culver on FanDuel?
I like Jarrett Culver. Yeah, I've got him a little bit, but let me take a quick look at my small forward rankings real quick.
Anthony Edwards. I mean, all these cheap ones.
Yeah, so I'm not playing Danny Green on FanDuel. I'm not playing Derek Jones. I like Edwards. I like Osman. I like Anderson. I like Tobias Harris. By the way, Keldon Johnson projected at 20%, and that is partially because people are finding us. I know what builds they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing because I've ended up in that spot like 9 times today trying to figure out why do I keep ending up with 6,500. All right. I think that, I need more prints on FanDuel and less on DraftKings probably. I've got a little bit too much of them, I think. It's just I'm just overloaded with prints everywhere. All right. And I really like if you're not going to play the Lillard, I think you want to try some Lillard, Beasley / and Rubio. I think that's a pretty sweet little combination right there.
That's kind of sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, and just like you get the cheapness and you can spend up on the other spots, and it's not really the way the builds other people are going to do. So I'm sort of into that. Let's see if I play LeBron here. I'm playing LeBron on FanDuel. I'm starting to. I mean, look, if AD is out, it's funny with LeBron because what they'll do is they'll play him less minutes and do whatever. But he's a competitive guy. He's going to want himself, if he wants to go back out there, he's going to go back out there. He feels like a very safe 50 fantasy points with an upside of 65 or 75 if AD's out. That's the reality. That's how I see it today. I'm leaving money on the table on some FanDuel lineups as well. It's not saying it's optimal.
Wait, hold on, James. You're killing me here. Is this for real?
What happened?
It says Embiid may sit, or is that
his speculation? Yeah, you got to make sure that you announce whether that's your speculation or the other ones. 'Cause it's a little tricky. Look, if Embiid's going to sit, we should hear about it soon, right? Like, I mean, there's no news out on that.
20 minutes from now, right?
Yeah. So. Well, in general, I think, and honestly, this would have been the opportunity for him to sit. I mean, kind of surprised that,
it says he's being evaluated.
He's being evaluated. Where is that information? Because I've got all my apps and everything.
No, here it is. Status note.
Oh, you got it.
Pre-game's warm-up. Thank you, Believer. Going through pre-game warm-ups right now. Why are they even mentioning it, though? I mean, there's like a legitimate chance he doesn't play, I guess.
Yeah. So they said, I mean, can you read back what they said exactly? I didn't hear it.
I'm just reading here. It's status note. Joel Embiid going through pregame warmups right now. We'll continue to update his status from fantasy.
Oh, I don't know if that means anything.
Okay.
That sounds a little dank, that piece of information. That's like someone who was too curious about whether Embiid might or might not sit found that out. It just worries me a little bit. I don't know. It could be wrong. I'm just.
Especially what bothers me is that Kyrie is out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Embiid's like, well, screw that. I mean, he ain't playing. I'm not playing.
It's also, I think you will see a limited Embiid. I'm not playing Embiid much. I do like the other guys better.
I just want to right now see how much Embiid I have, so that if God forbid something happens, how much do I have to deal with? All right, 4 lineups on DraftKings, okay, and then just so I know what I have going on here, and then Embiid on center maybe not that much on. Oh, I have 10% on FanDuel. So I will be able to handle it. I really don't want to have to rebuild all my lineups though if he's out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean if he's out? That like Tobias Harris is a lock? Is that the story? I mean, like
I'm sort of treating it like that a little bit anyway. Ben Simmons would be the better play, but
clear, right?
But yeah, I do think that Tobias is certainly it does improve him for sure. It does both of them. Boy, oh boy, I can't get away from this build, can I? Can't quite get it right.
You want to share your stuff or no? Or I was going to say you could share your screen if you wanted to, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I'll do that in general. I'm just trying to figure this.
You do another time, then. Gary Trent's get extra minutes. Stay wide. I don't.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he doesn't. There's no.
It's not like somebody's out or anything like that.
I haven't heard of anything that's happening that would make it like a lock that would happen.
Yeah. I'm honestly a little. I'm kind of content without presuming that what's his face doesn't get ruled out right now, like Embiid.
Yeah, I would rather he doesn't get ruled out too, because I'm treating it like he's not going to play as much tonight anyway, or not be as effective. I'm basically he's not. He's in. I mean, I think he ended up in a couple of my lineups, but he's not a guy I prioritized at all.
Bruce Brown starting. Oh, we knew that. Okay, but we don't have starters for Philly, right?
No, we don't.
7:15.
Yeah, not yet. We don't. Sometimes that happens with these guys. Drives me nuts.
Well, interesting, Mr. Woodley. Bobby was just talking about that just the way that, for whatever reason, the way that lineups are forcing people, like Keldon Johnson is kind of getting jammed into a lot of optimals in the position on FanDuel. So for me, I think that the idea is that it probably is a bad play. You know what I mean? Like in and of itself, he's a bad play. The only reason he's getting played is because people really, really want to play other guys that force him into that spot, I think.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess that answers your thing. Like, so sometimes guys can project like just kind of shitty, like in and of themselves, but because of the way construction works, they'll get a higher percentage in optimals than their individual, skill, their individual projections would warrant. And I've seen that a zillion times. What I would rather do instead of just getting forced into those types of things, that's how you end up, by the way, with like 35% Dwayne Bacon, like I had the other day. Like it's just like getting forced into freaking builds with a guy sucks, but you don't want to like change the rest of your lineups. It's probably better to just change the rest of your lineups than rest of your build than to take a guy that you just knows a bad spot.
Yep.
So that's interesting, John. So Kyle Anderson is 500 less. That's actually a very astute point, actually.
Then what?
Then Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, no, I know. I like, yeah. The problem, the thing is, so if you leave the money on the table, that's actually a build that I've had some of today.
Yeah. Who do I like on center on DraftKings? I have 40% Jokic. Nothing particularly fancy, I suppose. I have 46% Drummond, even less fancy. So, and then the remainder, as I mentioned before, maybe three. I have like a lineup or two with Valanciunas, and that's probably where the Embiid lineups are going to go in about 5 seconds. Whether he's either playing or not, I do think he might be limited. And if this game's even remotely close to being a blowout, you know what's going to happen? LeVert will still play, and Embiid will sit. That's what will end up happening.
I second that emotion. Let's see, is this my main?
So let's do that right now. Let's lose by so many different ways to lose. Let's lose by just taking out, like, preemptively the Embiid lineups, replace them with Valanciunas, and rebuild this other stuff. So this isn't bad. So now I could get rid of the Tyrone Maxey over here. And do you like not have any Joe Harris for some reason?
I have less. I'm having to find a way to get him in my stacks, but I don't think
I gotta have. Yeah, I mean, you just have to have some of them with just for the usage, no?
And the fact that he's not starting, maybe keep the ownership down. The problem is he doesn't really usually get a boost with these guys out. He usually benefits from them being there, but there should just be just in general. There should be more shots, like just to. So I'm sort of saying 2 different points, but those are both true things. They're I think that makes a lot of. Hold on 1 second here to Brooks and Dieng. How am I ending up with so much Kleber? I don't even know how I did this to myself.
No, you just you gotta share your screen when it's because are you like hand building all this stuff and then noticing that you have that little, or are you like using an optimizer?
No, I'm not optimizing.
Okay, you're just kind of like clicking back and forth and then like looking and say, oh my god, I have too much Kleber.
I just think that he keeps fitting into my builds where I'm double punting things. Like it's just a weird. I don't know. It's just weird the way that it's working out. I guess I think it's just random, but. Lillard, if I want to play Lillard, I really would love to run that back with somebody.
So we are going to have 0 Embiid on first DraftKings. Then we will do the same thing on FanDuel. Okay, so there's this. Oh, you get a little Dylan Brooks. Little Dylan Brooks never hurt anybody. Ah, look at that. You get all of them. That works.
Yeah, I mean, I might be done at the end of the first game. I mean, I actually see the ownership as not being enough, and I think people are going to pick between, and I'm just putting them all together. And
Blast them all. Yeah, I got you.
Harris, LeVert, Green, Jordan, Harris, LeVert, Prince, Allen, like just trying to go through different combinations that I could see playing together the most likely, and that's basically what I'm doing right now.
Who's your favorite centers on FanDuel?
Valanciunas and Drummond, like everywhere, but I partly love Valanciunas. I don't think people are going to be doing this,
right?
And I do think this is the game where we see Nurkic potentially go off. It couldn't be a better matchup. They need this guy to pick it up. I'm into it. All right, let's see. My issue with Chiozza is it feels like somebody they would use as like a replacement for LeVert. I don't know. I guess they'd play him alongside of him too. That's my only thing I'm trying to figure out right now.
I just think it's going to be one of those things where LeVert plays 30 minutes and everybody else plays like 20, like the whole team.
Maybe, but yeah, maybe that's right. But if that's true, if Chiozza plays 20 minutes, I actually kind of like Chiozza.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I can do some business with that. If I play Maxey, that would probably be the lineup to run back Chiozza. Yeah. If you're playing a semi-blowout-ish run.
Now, are we dumb for not playing Jared Allen or?
No, I have some Jared Allen.
Okay.
I actually like Jared Allen. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a better play than he'll probably get credit for. But the problem is, I mean, it's a terrible matchup, obviously, but how much Embiid do we really see? I mean, we'll see. Look, Embiid's going to play 30 minutes probably, but I don't think that it's going to be I'm out there trying to kill.
All right, Oswaldo says Embiid starting. Yeah. And Maxey is not starting. So it's Simmons, Milton, Green, Harris, Embiid. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
That makes sense.
That actually makes me like Maxey a lot better.
Yep.
All right. So Maxey, Allen.
Don't LOL, man. That's and that's not exactly going to be as off the board as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that one.
Laughing. I wasn't trying to laugh at that.
No. He all LOL'd himself.
Oh, gotcha.
I have a Maxey, Chiozza, AD, Luka, Jokic lineup.
Maxey, Chiozza, but not playing Luka and Doncic and Joker are probably the best way to go if you play those guys.
Oh, why is that?
That's what everyone's going to do when they play those guys.
Okay.
My favorite thing in the world: get all the value and then try and go high middling. You know what I mean? That's like my favorite thing to do.
Right.
All right. I think I need a little bit of Ben Simmons though.
I got 30% of him on FanDuel.
I think he's a much better play now too, without what's his name starting.
Maxey, you mean?
Yeah, without Maxey starting. It just is a little bit of extra use. I mean, I think that he's going to take the reins in this game. That's my sort of just my guess. I guess my hope based on my lineups.
Yeah.
Boy, it is weird to. Allen, Nurkic, and then I'm stuck with DeRozan. Do I want to do that?
Yeah, I think you do.
But then it feels weird because I'm playing. If I'm playing one Philly guy, I have two Philly guys in this lineup, and I know what I need to do. Yeah, I need to just go. I have so much Tobias Harris. It's nuts. I mean, I got him like 50%. Shake. I actually think that hurts Shake Milton a little bit. Him starting. He would have liked him so much better off the bench. Shake, yeah.
Prince, I'm good. 7 minutes till Nets Sixers luck. And unfortunately, once you go down that road, There's no getting out.
Yeah, true.
Just fine.
There's no escaping it.
There's no escape once you go down the Bruce. Once you make that Bruce Brown decision or that Taurean Prince decision.
I sort of am seeing what's the problem is though, because of the positions, it does put you in a weird, like it makes it hard to play like Sexton. Yeah, or any of the point guard shooting guards, because if you're going to play these cheap, the Bruce Brown, the Browns, obviously LeVert we want, but that's a different thing.
So I'm with you, man.
The Brown thing. I actually feel like I kind of like the Chioza angle a little bit better.
I like them both. I like that.
It's hard to play them, hard to justify them together as like a logic thing, but I just stuck there a little bit. I think that I just like Tobias Harris tonight. I just got to accept it. Why am I trying to figure out ways not to play him so much? I don't need to worry about it.
We could do this. If I did this and then went instead of that. The other one now again, maybe wrong slate or whatever it is, but total at 4,500. Even though Aldridge is playing, maybe not.
Wait, say that one more time.
I was coming up with a Galaxy Brain stupid play.
Let me see.
Yeah, I want to look at whatever lineups I have, like you said, Chioza and Brown together. Maybe I'll those are good. Those are good ones to take Brown out.
I still have a tiny bit of Vanderbilt, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of think this kid's got some upside if he plays. But again, he did get 5 stocks in the last game. But it's just like a pivot off of playing what's his name, Kleber or whoever you want to call the 4K power forwards, 3,900. What's his name? I want him instead of a little bit of the TLC that I had. And I really do like the idea of trying to get in a little bit of Juancho, just in case.
See, now I ended up with too much DeAndre Melton.
Too much DeAndre Melton.
Okay, Anthony Melton. Sorry.
No, I wasn't trying to. Sorry, not trying to be that guy. I'm getting one full-on hammer stack of this game. just go nuts with it, Bobby.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 6 players and then 2 from Memphis, Cleveland. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a good early look in on the scoreboard.
It sure will, huh?
Dylan Brooks or Kyle Anderson. I'm play Brooks here in this one.
You don't have any shows on FanDuel, do you? Somehow?
No. I don't. That's one thing I like about FanDuel sometimes, and sometimes I don't like it. I sometimes I feel like I don't need to make the weird play, but I can make other weird plays.
Yeah.
Like DeAndre Hunter the other night was a great example of a guy who was, if there was no value.
Wait, what are we talking about, Kevin? Might just plug in Caruso and hope he magically gets extra run in his return. Oh, hey, LA is a city of magic, isn't it? There's anything's possible.
I don't think you want to do that. I don't think that Caruso coming back he's going to get extra minutes upon his return. If anything, it's going to be the opposite, in my opinion.
Favorite plays? I'll do this one if you didn't do it already.
Right,
the Memphis Cleveland stack question.
Go ahead.
Sexton, Drummond, and then if I'm gonna keep it real, man, let's go DeAndre Melton, DeAnthony Melton, Valanciunas, and Dylan Brooks, right?
Sounds good to me. Hold on, I'm confused. It says I've got. Oh, that's why my upcoming entries. That it had me as $2,000 more extra entries on FanDuel tonight than I thought I had.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized it was because it's for football this weekend.
There it is.
I was like, what is going on? How can I have this much? Did I accidentally enter the 444 like a million times? All right, so real quick, last thing I'm going to do is edit my 444 lineups. Sheets, if there's any questions that you notice, please let me know.
No, I'm good.
All right, I'll give one away. Just said, look, this is a long shot lineup. It's a weird one, and I got the. You know what? Now that I say it out loud, even I almost want to change it. Let's see, Luca. Okay, so there we go. Him there.
How can you find your 444? By the way.
I leave it. I know it's in. I know which lineups it's in. So it's at 498 at this moment.
What do you mean?
It's a bitch. The answer, the real answer.
It's hard to find it, right? I mean, like.
Well, the most recent, but because you enter it into other things too. But I usually enter it in the same other things to keep it at the same thing, so I can just search for it.
Oh, I see. I think I see. But it doesn't list it by entry fees, right?
No.
It just lists it kind of randomly, no?
No, it's the most recent thing you make will go to the bottom.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Things you didn't.
But if you've uploaded a new thing since then that will come up before that thing you like.
Yeah. All right, I'm kind of.
We're pretty much there. I mean, so we better be ready.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally good. See, Kevin Klein might plug in Caruso. That's the last take of the night.
All right, I think you're reaching, buddy. I like Kevin. He's a good dude. Knows the Dodgers, loves the Dodgers. I think that's the same guy, same one. But I don't think you want to be plugging Caruso in tonight, buddy.
Okay.
Unless he's got some sort of inside information. If so, share some of it with us. Share the love. I would love to know what that information is. All right.
So who are we going to look for? So we're going to look for AD and LeBron, I guess. When's that game start? Not for a couple hours, right?
Yeah. You know what I really hate? I've got Brandon Clark in only one of my lineups right now, and unfortunately, that's the lineup with Joe Val, which I cannot justify exactly.
Yeah, I have actually Clark in my big buy-in on FanDuel.
You have Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he makes sense. I have Clark and Covington as my main guys. Prince is just behind them for me.
Well, we're going to see what happens in this Brooklyn game. I really hope it's not 51-22 at the half. It'd be really annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, with Embiid with 60 fantasy points.
I mean, look, it's totally on the board here. You know, I mean, it's absolutely well within the realm.
Well within the range of outcomes, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting into. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'm worried about it, but I'm not gonna.
Well, let's see. On 7:30. So let's check out some ownerships, I guess.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Before we go. Actually, you know what? Stays. Stays.
Right, guys, we can ask questions, by the way. So ask any QQs out there because I would love to hear about the later game QQs because there's obviously plenty happening.
Let's see what the ownership is. Oh no, that's that wasn't that. That was golf. Let's see. NBA.
I forgot about golf entirely today. Oh, I'm actually until 6 minutes before, and I put two lines. What's that?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So it looks like Karis LeVert is 87% in the 300.
Okay.
Maxey 11%. I'm a tad over leveraged here. We'll see what happens.
Wait a minute. How much Maxey do you have?
Just like 67 or something like that.
Oh, you really went for it with him.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm into that.
We'll see what happens.
I could see that working, man. He's active. I was impressed with him.
You know what? I think worst case. Maybe.
So guess what Landry Shamet is in the 333?
What?
0.3%.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's my winner for the night. I'm going to call my shot right now. If Landry Shamet goes off, I better win that freaking tournament.
All right. All right. I'm gonna roll. I got to eat.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, good luck to everyone out there. I'll answer questions in Discord if you want to get me up there. Good luck, everyone.